Welcome to Everything I Know, Hacky Tech, my digital diary of just some hacky/duct tape solutions that I have used. Today I wanted to share with you how to move files from one PC to another PC using Apache Webserver. There's timestamps below if you're just trying to follow on and just get on with it, because I know I tend to ramble. So some disclaimers before we do start. There's some things that you just need to know. One is that this isn't the only way you can move files from one PC to another PC. This is just a solution that I came to when I was trying to move some old DVDs from an old PC to a new PC. So I had to just use this and see what I could do with it. The first thing is just a demonstration here to show how I did it. And I have two Windows PCs here to demonstrate that hardly have anything on them besides the files that I'm trying to move. Full disclaimer, we're going to be using a Linux distribution called Linux Lite, or Linux Lite, because I call it Linux here in South Africa. It's just how our English is. We don't call it Linux, we call it Linux. But I'll try and jump between the two for those that are listening. So the first thing I had to do was locate the files from the first PC and remember the directories and everything in terms of the path of how to get to those files. The next thing I had to do was compress the files because this helps me in being able to download one big file instead of a lot of small files. After that, just check the drive and check the drive size from where you're trying to download your videos or your pictures from, because this is going to help when we get into the Linux distribution to be able to locate or know where we can get these files that we've stored or that we're trying to move. So I headed over to Linux Lite and downloaded the ISO file so I can make a bootable USB of it. So just go to Google, type it in there, and then obviously you can then just download it if you want to do the same. And then after we've downloaded our Linux Lite and we've got the ISO file, we can head over to Rufus by just typing in how to make a bootable USB. I downloaded the portable Rufus, so you can just check down there for disclaimers to see which one you want. Just basically the first one installs Rufus onto your PC. The other one just runs like a portable version instead of actually putting it on your main PC. You don't need to remove it from program files. Open Rufus, and then once you've opened Rufus, you can just follow all the steps in terms of what you need to do, like selecting a drive, and then select the ISO, and then write it and wait for the USB to finish writing onto the Rufus to finish writing onto the USB. So after I had done that, I had to boot from the USB that I have now made. Just restart and find your boot menu. Different boot menus for different PCs. Then I had to locate the files on the drive from the Linux Lite side and see where they are. And it's just as easy as finding the drive under PCs, or you can even do it on the desktop. And then just locate and see that I have them there. Compressed files have the same content that the individual files have still in the folder, so that's cool. Then I had to unmount the drive. This was important for later because I need to mount the drive in the Apache folder coming next. The next step is installing Apache on our bootable USB, and to do so you just have to follow a couple of steps. The first is to open up a terminal, and you can click down here, or you can use the shortcut Control-Alt-T, and a terminal will pop up. And then you just type in the sudo apt update so that it can update the repositories that are on the USB live. Then after that, you just add sudo apt install apache 2-y. Once the Apache is successfully installed, I need to make a folder in the place where Apache hosts its site. This folder is a folder that I will use to mount the drive, or the drive that I'm trying to move files from. so that they can be accessed over the network. So to do so, I just used sudo make-dir/www/html/myfiles. Myfiles is one word because I know if it used two separate words, it's going to make two separate files, and I didn't want that. After this, I had to locate the drive that I'm trying to mount, and to do so, I used sudo fdisk-l. This will list all the drives that I have on that first PC so that I can see which one I need to mount. And when I look at it and I see it, I can see that here there's a 39 gigabyte hard drive that is close to the 42 that I saw on the other side, which means that this is the drive that I need to mount to be able to access those folders over the network. So to mount the drive, I just used sudo mount/dev/sda2 space /var/www/html/myfiles. And this will mount the drive onto the Apache side so that it can be accessed over the network when I'm trying to access it. And so once I was finished mounting the drive and putting it on the Apache folder side, I had to find out the IP address for my computer to see where the Apache Webserver is being hosted. And so to do so, I used a command called sudo ifconfig. And this gave me the IP address of where my Apache Webserver is being hosted on my network, so I can find it on my second PC. So after this, I just left the first PC running and then go to the second PC. And on my second PC, I enter the IP address that I had from the first PC. And when I do, it shows me the Apache Webserver running, showing me that it does work. But there's no folders here to, anything to click in terms of downloading. And that's just because I needed to actually put the IP address and then /myfiles, which is the folder that I made, that I mounted the drive to. And in doing so, it shows me all the files that actually exist on that drive. And after that, I just needed to locate the files and then see all these files that I want to download. And this is where the difference comes in whether I'm trying to download the files individually or if I'm trying to download all of them at the same time. To download them all on individual files, just go to each folder to be able to get to it, and then you can download the file I want. But to get all of them at the same time, I had to compress them before I even got to this point, and then download them as a compressed file. That way I can see all of them and get all of them at the same time. Some disclaimers, just like I did again at the beginning. The first thing is that if you're trying to do this, then you have to be on the same network, as both PCs have to be on the same network. That just kind of helps in moving it. There's no other way that you can move it unless they are both on the same network. And you can do that you can hotspot one PC to another PC, or you can use an Ethernet cable from one PC to another PC. And another thing is there's a security risk. Anybody that's on your network, if you're doing this and you live at home, or you are trying to access this through like a public Wi-Fi or something, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. But anybody that's on that network would be able to see all your files and folders. So if you're trying to keep something super secret, then maybe this isn't the way to do it. This solution kind of works if you have big files and you're trying to just move them quickly. Maybe if you've compressed them already, then it's cool. But if you have small files, then you can just use a USB. I think that's just kind of easier to do and a lot more safer, as was just a hacky thing that I used to move things. It saved me some time, and in terms of I didn't need to move things from one side to one side. And yeah, I mean, if you run an Ubuntu or you run a Linux distribution, it becomes a little easier also, because you don't have to get a USB to make a live USB or a bootable USB. You can just move things from one place to another. And again, there's other solutions for this. I just figured this out because I was struggling and I needed to. Warpinators, the FTP, set up your own FTP server, Snapdrop or etc. There's more other ways. This was just a way that I was trying to learn how to do it. And that's how I did it. I just moved some files from one PC to one PC using the Apache Webserver. Thanks for watching. If this has helped you in any kind of way, then, if you just enjoyed watching it, then please give me some likes. You can subscribe also. But more than anything else, go poke some stuff and make your own hacky solutions to see, and then show me, or tag me in it or something. It's always nice to see what other people do in terms of their duct tape solutions. You guys are amazing. You're amazing. And I hope you have a good day. Cool.